Hey, I'm James from Iconic WP, and I'm going to show you how you can optimize your WooCommerce category pages to increase sales and improve the overall customer experience. By default, WooCommerce will list your products on the shop page and allow you to filter and search them. But we can take that one step further, and the good news is that it doesn't require you to know how to code. I'm going to show you how you can increase the size of your product catalog by displaying variations on the shop page. I'm then going to show you how to display product options on the shop page in the form of swatches or buttons. I'm also going to show you how you can improve the product filters that come with WooCommerce. Then I'll go on to show you how to display multiple images per product on the shop page. And finally, I'll show you how you can add products to the cart without ever leaving the shop page. Let's get started. Okay, so as you can see here, we've got a very basic WooCommerce site. It's using the storefront theme, and I've imported the dummy product data into WooCommerce. So we've got the products that come with WooCommerce by default, all installed and set up. As you may know, some of these products are variable products like the hoodie and the V-neck t-shirt, for example. So there's some great stuff that we're going to do with variable products shortly in this demonstration. So as a starting point, it does a good job. It presents your products to the customer and they can click through to select options or add simple products straight to the cart from the catalog page. And you can filter and search the products by the color of the product or the size of the product. Basically any attribute that you create for your products you can filter by, and you can search usually by the title of the product, and I believe it takes into account the description as well. Now, one issue you may face when filtering the products, for example, if we look at the hoodie comes in three colors: blue, green, and red. If we go back to the home page and filter the products by blue, it does list the hoodie, but it shows us the picture of the main variable product, which is orange. And in this context, it doesn't really make that much sense. As such, the first product I'm going to show you, or the first tip I'm going to show you of how to optimize your catalog pages, is to display the individual variations of a variable product in the shop. And to do that, we're going to use one of the plugins from iconicwp.com called Show Single Variations. Now, this plugin is going to allow us to choose to display variations in different areas of the WooCommerce shop. So we can choose to show them in the catalog, which would be pages like this, where it's just a generic shop page, or the category pages. We can choose to show the variations when you're filtering, and we can choose to show the variations when you're searching for a product. So you've got the flexibility there that if you want to show the variable product in the majority of places on your store, like the shop page and catalog pages, then you can do that. But if you want to show the specific variation product when you're filtering, then you can do that as well, which would make this filtered result much more accurate. So the idea is that when we then filter by blue, we would see the blue variation instead of the orange hoodie, or red in this case. The other thing that will happen is that when we click on the blue variation, it's going to take us through to the product page with the blue variation already selected. So let me show you how to do that. So first of all, you will want our plugin WooCommerce Show Single Variations. You can get this from our website, iconicwp.com, and just go to the plugins page and look for WooCommerce Show Single Variations. And when you get here, you can start a free trial for 14 days. After you've started your trial and downloaded the plugin, just go to your WooCommerce store, go to plugins, upload the zip file that you're sent, and activate the plugin. After doing that, you're going to be redirected to the license page, where we're going to enter the license key, and we're going to activate it. So after activating this plugin, we're going to get redirected to the dashboard, where you're going to see the Getting Started tab, and this is going to guide you through the process of setting up Show Single Variations. But the first thing that you really want to do is go to the Index tab, and we're going to index all of the products and the variations on this site. What this is going to do is run through every product on the site and make sure the visibility settings are configured exactly how you choose when you run the indexer. So I'm going to click Run Indexer, and here we can set up the variation visibility for every variation on our site. So as I alluded to earlier, I'm going to enable the variations to be displayed in the filtered results and the search results, and I'm going to overwrite any existing variation settings. Now, for the variable products, we're going to keep them unchanged. Click Submit, and the products are indexed. And you can see there's no more outstanding products. Now, one thing I am going to do is go to the hoodie, which I know is a variable product, and I'm going to click over here, Exclude from Filtered Results. So this means that when we filter by the color, we're not going to see the variations listed alongside the parent product with the orange image or the red image. We're going to see just the variation listed, but this parent product is still going to be visible in the main catalog. And I'm just going to do the same with the V-neck product. And that's it. If we go back to the front end now and refresh the filtered page, you can now see all of the products are blue and much more relevant to what the person has searched for. The hoodie is listed here, and the V-neck is listed here. And as you can see, possibly by the URL in the bottom left, this is linking straight through to a variation. So if I click this, for example, it goes straight through to the hoodie, which is the parent product page, but it's pre-selected blue and no logo. If we go back, this is the same product, but it's going to pre-select blue and yes to the logo. Now if we go back to the home page, you can see our original variable product is listed there, and the variations are only showing when we filter. Now, as I mentioned previously, if we went to the indexer and chose to display the variations in the catalog and shop pages, we can do that as well. And we could then say to hide the variable products in every location so they're not showing up multiple times. Now, if we revisit the homepage, you'll see each of the hoodie variations listed out like that, and also each of the V-neck variations. So if you find managing products as variable products fairly straightforward as an admin, but you find that it's limiting the size of your product collection to your customers, then this is a great way to reveal all of the different combinations of a product that you have available on your store. And as you can see, it was fairly simple to set up. The other thing that you may have noticed now that these variations are displaying in the shop page is that each one has an Add to Cart button rather than the Select Options button that we saw when it was a variable product. So from here, now we can add these variations straight to the cart from the shop page. So that is my first tip. My second tip ties into variable products again. And if I click through to the hoodie, if you remember, we had the options of color and logo for hoodie. Something you've probably seen on most e-commerce stores is for options like color, instead of having a drop-down menu, most stores would have color swatches. So these would be little circles or squares of color, which when clicked would choose the product option for you. So usually you'd expect to see that on this page, the single product page. However, if you use our attribute swatches plugin, as well as showing them on the product page here, we can also show them underneath each product in the catalog pages. This is going to instantly show your customers which options there are available for each product on your store without them having to click through to the single product page. So much like before, the first thing you'll want to do is go to our iconicwp.com website and get the free trial of WooCommerce attribute swatches. Once you've got it, head over to your WooCommerce store, activate the plugin, enter your license key, and again you'll be taken to the dashboard for that particular product. Attribute swatches only has a couple of global settings, which are the style of the swatch. So we've got tick or border, and border is my preferred style, and the ability to enable the accordion view, which we'll leave off for now. Once you've installed attribute swatches, you want to go down to the product section and click on attributes. From here, we're going to edit the color attribute. And we've now got this new option, swatch type. So from here, I'm going to choose color swatch. We're going to have round. It's going to be 30 pixels by 30 pixels. Tooltips are enabled, which means when you hover over it, it's going to show you the name of the swatch. And this option here is the one that's relevant to this demo that I'm showing you now. So we're going to show the swatch in the catalog. So when you turn that on, you get an extra option, which is the swatch method. So when you click on one of these swatches in the catalog, it can either link through to the product or it can change the product image. So let's try change the product image. We'll update that. We're going to go back to attributes. And this time we're going to go to color configure terms. So we're going to click edit on each of these terms and we're going to choose the color that represents that term. And now you can see we've got the color swatches selected down the side here. I'm going to go back to the size attribute just to show you what another option looks like, and we're going to choose text swatch. And we'll show that in the catalog as well. So now if I click through to the hoodie, you can see our color swatches are now visible on the product page. If I go back to the home page, you can see the swatches that we selected are now visible in the catalog page as well. So we know from looking at this hoodie that it's available in blue, green, and red. And if we click on it, it's going to change the product image. Now, the other option that I mentioned was to link through to the product. So if we're looking at the blue one, and as a customer we decide, actually, I want the green one, we can click that. And it will take you through to that product page and pre-select the green option. On the V-neck product, that has colors and sizes available. So you can see it's listed both of those options out on the catalog page. And if we click through, you can see color is using our swatches that we configured, and size is using the text-based buttons that we configured. So already you can see how much nicer that's looking than the standard dropdowns. It's also revealed those swatches on the catalog/shop pages, making it much easier for your customers to know what products you have available and the options available for that product as well. So actually, the Attribute Swatches plugin allows us to take this one step further. You'll remember earlier I showed you we've got these filters on the right-hand side, and by default, using the WooCommerce filter widgets, it displays those options as a standard checklist. With the Attribute Swatches plugin installed, we can actually convert those options into the color swatches that we configured earlier. So to do that, we're going to go to the Attributes page, and we're going to click to edit the color, which is the attribute that we're showing here. And down here, we've got an option that says Show Swatch in Filters. If we choose Yes and Update, come back to the front end and refresh, you can see our Filter by Color widget is now displaying those swatches. And when you hover, it shows how many of each color there are. And when you click it, it filters by that option. So we can do the same with the size filter, which is using the text swatch. If we go back to the home page, you can see we're now using text swatches in the filters. And this is a much nicer interface for your customers. If they land on your site and all they can see is a list of text options which represent colors, that's not ideal for them. Whereas in this scenario, they can land on your store and they can see exactly which color options are available. So that's shown you some of the great stuff that Attribute Swatches can do for your store and how it can improve your catalog and shop pages for your customers. The next thing I want to show you is how to add image effects to these products. So oftentimes as a store owner, you could have a product like a hoodie, for example, And you may also want to show your customer the back of that product and how that looks. So this is where our plugin Image Swap for WooCommerce comes in. As always, you'll want to go to iconicwp.com and search for the Image Swap for WooCommerce plugin and start your free trial. Then head over to your WooCommerce store and activate Iconic Image Swap for WooCommerce. As always, enter your license key, and then you'll get taken through to the dashboard. So from here, you want to go to the General tab. It's in this tab that you'll be able to choose the image swap effect that you want to use in the catalog. So to demo this, I'll show you the fade on hover effect. And if you go to effect settings, you can configure the settings for each of these effects. So for this one, you can change how long the fade transition takes. And by default, that's 300 milliseconds. So if we go to our front end again and refresh. Now, when we hover over images that have more than one image, so you've got your main image, for example, I'll show you over here. With the hoodie, we've got the main image here, and we've got the product gallery, so we've got 4 images for this product. So when we hover over the main image on the product page now, on the shop page, it will show us the second image, which is this first image in the product gallery. And that's the same for any product that has more than one image. So this is a really nice way to show your customer the detail of your product without taking them away from this shop page. Now, as I mentioned before, this plugin does come with multiple different effects that you can use. So if we go back to Image Swap and we'll try Slide. When we land on the page, it looks much the same, but when you hover over products with multiple images, you get the sliding arrows. The slide effect allows you to choose how many images you want to display, and by default it will show all of the product images for each product. If the product doesn't have multiple images, you don't get the sliding arrows. The other options are to display bullets, thumbnails, zoom, picture in picture, a modal gallery, enlarge effect, and a flip effect. So you can see that Image Swap is a great way to let your customers get more information about your products without overloading them with information all in one view. Image Swap will give them an interactive experience which lets them find out and discover if those products are the right ones for them without having to navigate to multiple different single product pages to find out. So finally, we can top all of these different options off with the ability to view much more detailed product information and the ability to add these products and customize these products right from the shop page. And we do that by using a quick view plugin for WooCommerce. So for the final time, you'll want to go to iconicwp.com and you'll want to look for the WooCommerce quick view plugin. Start a free trial, upload a zip, and head over to your WooCommerce store to activate it. So once activated, you'll be able to configure the quick view to display it how you want. And if we go to quick view trigger settings, we've got two options here for the quick view method. We can choose to click the quick view button or just hover over it to trigger the quick view. Click is usually the option that you'd want. You can choose to use an anchor or a button, and the difference here would be that if you're displaying the quick view button inside your product card, which is already an anchor or a link, then you'd probably want to use button because you can't nest an anchor inside an anchor. But by default, you should be able to use the settings that are here and customize them based on your experience. So if we head over to the store again and refresh the page, you'll see we've now got this quick view button. And again, we can choose to align that in the center. And when we click it, we get this modal view of a product. And as you can see, it integrates already with the swatches that we configured. You can choose your product options right here and add it to the cart. Now, the other thing that you might have missed is the gallery option of the quick view. So this will allow your customer to scroll through every product on the current page quickly and easily without ever leaving the shop page. Within the settings, we're able to configure which parts of the quick view are visible. So you can choose to show the title, price, rating, banner, description, which description you're going to show. The add to cart button, whether you want to enable Ajax, which means it won't refresh the page when you add to cart. Whether you want to hide the quick view pop-up after adding to cart. And some general color options down here. So quick views are something that you quite often see on modern e-commerce stores. And when you combine it with all of these other options that I've shown you, you really get a full experience as a customer and the ability to quickly browse your store and find exactly what they need without leaving the customer wondering whether you have the right product for them. They can very quickly and easily discover for themselves whether you've got the product that they want in the right color or the right size, all without ever leaving the shop or the catalog page. So if you try these plugins and they all work out for you, we do have some bundle options available. And our best package is going to be the All Access bundle, where you get access to all of our plugins, which are the ones I've shown you, and also some additional plugins that add more sales boosting and conversion focused options to your WooCommerce store. And it also gives you the option to download any future plugins that we release. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you've learned some valuable tips about how to increase sales from the WooCommerce catalog and shop pages. I've been James from iconicwp.com, and you can find me on Twitter as James C. Kemp. I hope to hear from you soon. Bye for now.